Welcome to the AI Agent series. We're now going to run through the third and final part of our task and time management agent, and this is going to be a part of the series where we've built out all of these capabilities under the task and time management agent, and we did the one right at the start of the series around the master agent for actually assigning the use cases. So if you're looking to understand how to actually build your own AI agents in platforms like make.com, let's dive straight in. The next section is going to be about actually going through and doing follow-up action items. So let's jump straight in. So we've got the next one in here, so let's just copy across the start points. We'll come in here, we'll go down to the bottom, do OK, make sure that's all connected here, we'll delete that so that we can do it nice and easily. Again, we're going to update the record ID because what we're going to do in here is actually use it to follow up on specific items. So we'll come in here, we'll get rid of that. Results, we'll do OK. And then what we're looking to do is follow up on action items. So again, here, save. Now, what have we got in here? Well, this specific, again, OpenAI, you can use any of the other ones, is going to go through and really analyze what we need to do for this specific activities. So again, are we actually identifying if a specific task needs to be updated, if there's an action required, if there's a deadline, who's responsible for it, what the status is, do we need an update? Again, all of this information has been provided in here, so we can really go through and understand what it is we need to do, and then of course the output. So as we've got here, we're then going to be doing a JSON output to identify the specific task, the action required, a deadline, who's responsible, status or update, and then email address. Or if it's null, we'll just include that. We've got some instructions here. And then if I come a bit further down, we've got an example input, and then we've got an example output. So I can copy that. We can go through, and again, as you can see in here, we've got 5 different examples that are going through. And then at the bottom, we've just input all the information. So we come down here and do task. And we're saying, again, please do not output any of the JSON or ... We just want it as raw JSON to come through. If we come down, we can do save. And then if we would run this module only, again, we can see how it structures that information. So it's a nice, easy, usable format versus just being lots of jumbled up letters. Again, the result is just coming from our previous module. So we'll do save for that. Now, let's go through step by step. I'm conscious of time, so we're going to start copying some of these modules a bit more. So we'll do copy and paste. So what we're going to do first is add a router, and then we're going to add this as the first one because within it it's then got subparts that we're going through. We'll just do auto align so it's nice and easy to go through. So the first part is we're looking for this action required. So we come into here, our JSON structure is send a reminder, or we get rid of that. We can do action reminder as confirm completion. So they're the activities that are going to be coming through. Now, if we had an email provided within this parcels when we've passed this JSON, when we've extracted the information, we're going to go through one channel. If no email has been provided, we're going to go through the other one. So we'll come down here and do email, we'll do save. So the bottom one is email. So what we're looking for, if there's no information, is we're going to extract the responsible person's name. We're then going to try and format the email address because what we're doing is searching for that person, again, using our Google contacts to be able to really identify if they're there. You can use Slack or whatever other channel you prefer. And then we're going to come through, and as you can see here, just a quick one around actually formatting an output around an email. So we've got, for example, specific task, action required, deadline, responsible person, the email subjects, the email body that's coming through. So lots of information we're going to use in a second. And if we come a bit further down, we've got all of the information we need to input. So if I collapse this down, we're going to be doing specific tasks. We're then going to say what the action required is. And then we're going to do the deadline as well. So what this module is going to do is basically write an email based on this 3 points and then output it as a JSON so we can structure it nice and easy in our module that we've got here. Now, to give an example, we can paste the one that I just copied across. As we can see here, I can paste the example that I just got. So as you can see here, we've got all of the information at the bottom. So specific task, action required, deadline. We've then got the emails for the subject. We've then got the body as well. So if we zoom a bit further in here, the next one we're going to be using is a Gmail. And what we're basically going to be saying is, again, if you want to come from a specific email, you can, or if you just want to do this as a draft, maybe you don't want to send the email straight away, what we can do is extract from our contacts that email address, and remembering it's the first value. So if we come down here, email address, we're doing value and then number 1. That's all you would need to do. We're then going to be using from the past details. If we collapse this down, we're going to be using the email subject. We're going to be using the email subject that's just come through. So as you can see here, subject. We're then going to be using their given name. So again, from when we've extracted that specific information, we've got their given name, we've got the email body, and then maybe we've got some information just closing off at the end, and we're CCing ourselves if it's going automatically, or if you're quite comfortable for you not to be CC'd, or you'd rather it be a draft, you can do it that way as well. Again, what we're doing is the personal in our Slack channel is we're just notifying us that we've completed the action. And then at the end here, we're just going to go through and close complete so that we're able to use that in the future. We'll come down here. We'll do ID from the first one. Again, we're going to store the message that we send into our Slack channel. And if we can find the email, well, that's great. We can go straight through. We don't need to try and find that person. What we're going to do in here is exactly the same premise of just analyzing the information, trying to come up with a response. And all we're going to do in here is just update the information just like we've done up top, so that we can go through and do it nice and easy. We'll do save. We'll come in to send a reminder. So again, the email address is going to be the email that was actually provided. So we'll come down here and do email. Again, we've got the subject, all the other information from these other modules that we've just run through. We can do save. Again, this is going to send the information into our Slack channel. And we can come down into our last one again, just update the ID to make sure they're able to run through and store all of that information and close the action complete. So if we come down here, as we can see, we're all good to go. So now we're going to go through to the next one here, which is around actually sending out some stakeholder emails or drafting some stakeholder emails rather than you having to do it from scratch every single time. So we'll come into here and we're looking to provide an update to a stakeholder. So again, action required. We're going to come through to one that has provide update to stakeholders. The email, again, very similar. What we're going to be doing is providing an insight into them for what they need to do. And then we're going to go through and do that actual action ourselves. So as we got here, key actions, what we're going to do, the subject, the body as the output, so that we can go through and use it. And at the bottom here, we're going to come through and do specific tasks, action required, and then deadline, just in case anything else has been included. We're able to pass that information and then write an email. So as you can see here, we're going to be doing a draft instead of actually sending it straight away. We're going to be using the outputs from our last specific module here. So we'll come and we'll do subject and then body. We'll do save. And then we're going to say that we've stored this information. So we've said that it's this subject. And then we've provided a link to a actual repository where I've got all of the draft responses stored. So I know how to respond back to them and where I've got one that needs responding to. And then we're going to come into this last module here and just update the status. So again, change the ID. And we'll come down the bottom here and say done. And we're storing that message that we've done in Slack as well. We'll do save. Okay, great. So what we can do now is maybe another router. And what this is going to be doing is around the criticality of an issue. So let's get this first couple here so that we're able to use it nice and easily. We'll come back into our actual agent. We'll store that in here. We'll delete the module. Then we're going to go through and actually use some of the information. So we'll come into here. So this is going to be assessing if we need to escalate an issue. We need to send an email notification, phone someone. Again, we can come down here. We can say issue, specific task. We can do deadline. We can do responsible person. We can do that in here and we can do save. We'll do save of the module. We'll auto align so we can run through it. So if it's a high risk issue, we're going to come through the top one here. So let's just go through and actually update all of the different formats. What we're basically doing is actually trying to format the script for an email to go through, as we can see here. But also we're going to be triaging a phone call to automatically go to that individual that notifies them there's a really serious issue and they need to deal with it straight away. So if we come down the bottom, we just need to change the specific task and the severity. Again, we're just looking for the output from this specific module so that we can go through. You could also put that as fixed text as high if you want, just so that it's always going to be there. Again, we'll do the rest for the medium and just for the general message as well. So this is maybe your lower complexity ones, lower risk ones. Then for the generate one at the bottom here, we're just going to be sending a Slack message. So as you can see here, we're just going to basically input all of the information. So role, user, we're going to say task, and then we're going to say responsible person, and we're going to say severity is low. We'll do save. There we go. So that's all good to go. So what we can now do is copy the next couple across. So let's start with the high risk ones. So as we can see here, we'll copy this, we'll input up here, and now we're going to tie it into our specific one. So if it's a high risk, we're going to need to escalate it pretty quickly and pretty sharpish. So we're going to be getting the output from our last module here. So to see that run, let's give a quick example. So for example, here we can run this and we can do okay. So as you can see here, we've got an email script and a phone script that's come through. So we're able to use that in the next couple of modules. So if we're saying that we've got the email address from the actual parsing that we did right at the start here. So we're parsing. So we've been able to identify the email that we've got in here. We're able to go through and send that email straight away. So again, notifying them that it's a really high risk, really big issue. We need to go through and sort this straight away. We can get rid of that. So we just got responsible person. We'll make sure that that's all updated. Email, again, that's all updated. Subject, be from here. Email body is all good to go. Again, CCing ourselves at the bottom there. We'll do save. Confirmation response. We're just going to say that we've sent a message. So come down here. We're going to do responsible person. And we're going to say what the task was as well. And we're just going to let them know that this has been completed. And at the end here, we're just going to go through and update it. So we'll get rid of the ID, come back down to the start and do save. And again, all updated, all good to go. Now, if there's no email, again, similar to before, we're going to go and search for that responsible person so that we can retrieve their details, then send the email across. So again, extracting that first email like we've done for the other ones. So come in here, email, value, and then number one that we need in there. We've got the subject, we've got responsible person, so let's go through and update that. We'll come down here and do responsible person. We'll do save. Again, confirming the task is completely exactly the same as what we did just now. So we'll go through and update that. So we've got responsible person, and then we've got a specific task as well. So we'll do save, and then just updating the ID. So that's all good to go as well. So come in here and update ID. Great. Now, what if we're looking, now the other part of this is actually doing a telephony phone call as well. So in this case, we're going to be searching for this responsible person, and then we're going to be outputting their phone number. So if we get it here, responsible phone number. Now, what we're going to be doing in this case is you can use something like VAPI to make a phone call automatically. So to do that, you need a HTTP module, and then what you're looking for is to make a request. Okay, HTTP, and then you do make a request. There you go. So how this works is you need to have your authorization. So you need to add bearer and then your key in there. And then you need to go through and do content type application JSON. That would always stay the same. We're doing the body type and the content is JSON. And then you can go through and update this to what you want. The only thing you need to do is make sure that you've got this script in here, this phone script, because that's going to take it from where we've got the high risk. It's going to automatically generate it, pass it in as the message that we're going to read out to that person. What we're also going to do is use the phone number, similar to what we did for the emails. So you want to come across to where you've searched for that person. We're then going to come down and do phone numbers, and we're going to do number one. Again, if they've got multiple phone numbers, you could do an iteration through if you wanted to, so that you're able to do that. And what we're going to be doing is logging that call as well in our other table so that we're able to refer back to it in the future, but also know that that phone call has gone to that person. We're going to confirm that this has happened. So we're going to come down here and just say that responsible person and a specific task has been completed. And then we've got the IDs in here. So we'll go through and update that. So we've got ID, text done, all good to go. And that's the second part. Brilliant. So now what we need to go through and do is around the medium complexity. So if we come in here, let's copy this across, because a lot of it is the same as what we've just run through. So we can focus on, so there we go. Now what we'll be able to do is if we just come down here, we just need to update this. So that we've got, again, this is going to be slightly different because we're sending a Slack message instead of an email and a phone number. We're going to say the issue is the specific task. And the result, again, we can say is medium. In this case, we'll do save. Again, it's going to go through and actually generate that email for us. It's then going to go through and generate the actual Slack message as well. Email, we're going to come down and we're going to find the email address. So again, email, the subject stays the same. We'll change the person because, again, that's using the data that we've got from up here. So as you can see at the top here, we've got from this output module here, we've got the email subject, and then we can put the body in here as well. So that's all good to go. We'll update a query for responsible person just whilst we click on that as well. So responsible person, save. We'll just save this. Confirm task complete. So again, we're going to let us know that we've done a responsible person and a specific task. We'll do save. Close action. We'll come in here. We'll just update it. So we got the ID done to the start. We'll do OK. We'll do save. Notification. Again, we'll just update the person. So come back down. Responsible person. If you wanted to do their first name, So the given name from here, you could do that instead, seeing as we're searching for them. We'll do save, confirm task complete. Again, exactly the same as before. We're going to come in here, responsible person, or again, as we just mentioned, you could add their display name in here from the search module that we've just done. And then we can do specific task as well. We'll do save, and then update ID, and we'll do all of this information. It's good to go. Search for context. So again, exactly the same as what we've just done. We're going to be searching for this specific person. We'll do save. We're going to search for that user in Slack, because what we're doing is actually using their email address. We're then going to send them a direct message about what issue is taking place, what they need to do. Again, this has been automatically generated for us by ChatGPT. We're then going to go through and confirm the task has been completed to us, because we've sent that person a direct message. So we're going to say that we've come through and we've let responsible person, or again, you could use their given name if you wanted to. We're going to say responsible person regarding specific task. We'll do save, and then we'll just update the last part here. So we can go through and do the first ID, and we'll just do save to make sure that that's all good to go. Brilliant. So now what we're going through is we're able to see if it's a high complexity task. We're able to send them an email, and then we're also able to send them a phone call. If it's a medium complexity task, we'll send them an email and a Slack message. Now, if it's a low complexity task, we'll probably just send them a Slack message. So we'll come into our module here, we'll copy, we'll paste. And again, the reason that we're using this Google search, and here again, you could use Teams, you can use another repository if you want to use it that way as well. All you need to be able to do is be able to find that specific person's email address, because that's how we're going to go through and use it. Maybe you can associate their ID with a channel so that you know if they're sending a message, it's coming from that specific individual. So we can search for that specific user, their email address. We're then going to send a message. So if we come into here, what we're looking for is, if we come down, is our generate a message. As you can see here, GPT will start pulsing. We'll do save. That's the message we're going to send. And then we're just going to tell ourselves that we've done a message to that specific person regarding that specific task. And we'll just close off the action log to make sure that that's all done as well. So we'll do ID, we'll do save. Brilliant. So now we can go through it and do the next couple of parts, which is going to be around marking an action complete, requesting additional information, or reassigning a task. So if we come through and do mark as complete, that's pretty straightforward. So we'll just add this in quickly, make sure it's all connected up to our specific scenario, our router up here. So again, what we're looking for is the action required to be at mark as completed. What we're then going to do is search for a specific task. So that, again, using that information from our parsing up front, we're going to do save. We're then going to go through and update this task. So again, monday.com, whatever you're using, you're able to go through and do that yourself. We can do save, confirm that task is complete. So again, what we're saying is we've gone through, extracted all this information, we've updated it, and now it's all good. It's all closed off. And then we'll just close off the action here so we can get rid of that, come back to the start, do ID, we'll do save, auto align. So now we've got the next one here, which is just mark as completed, nice and easy and nice and quick. The next one is going to be around requesting additional information. So let's go step by step for some of this. So we'll come down and copy the first half. We'll come up to our router just to make sure that we're all connected in. So that will be the first part in. We'll just auto align so it comes down the bottom here. So what are we looking for? Well, we need to understand what additional information we're looking for, and that's going to come from the task that we've been assigned to this specific agent. So again, we've got our detail prompts in here, the priming prompt, and then we're going to go through and give it the information. Is looking for, the details that are needed, the classification of it's going to be an email or a Slack message they're going to send through. We're going to output a JSON structure so that we're able to use this information. We'll copy one of these examples just so you can see how it would be outputted. And then at the bottom here, what we're going to be doing is passing it this specific task and that specific person that needs to go and complete the action. So to show you the output, we'll do OK. And then as you can see at the bottom here, we've got the option of the email, and this would be the output. But if it was actually a Slack message, it was come out in a different format so that we'll be able to use it in a different way. So let's come back down the bottom here. Now we've got email exists, no email or Slack message. So email exists is exactly the same as what we've done for the other ones. So we'll just copy that across because that's no new knowledge in there. We'll make sure that we copy that down, connect it all up. And then what we'll do is just run through. So we're going to update the email address. So where we've been able to find it is down here. We'll do save. confirm task is complete. So again, we're just going to update that specific person and that specific task to say that it's all done. We'll update the ID to make sure that we mark it's complete in our Airtable, which is going to be, where we're tracking all of the actions. We're going to search for a specific person. So again, this is to make sure that we've got their email address if it's not been provided. So we'll look for responsible person. We'll come through, we'll just look for their email address. So we can come into here and do email. We'll do the value in here, and we just need to put number 1. So we're getting that first email address. The subject. So this is going to come through from our pass module that we've just done. So if I collapse this, what we'll be able to see here is subject. So we'll do subject. We'll do responsible person in a second, and we'll do body first. So that's going to be the subject of the email and the body of the email that we're going to send to that specific person. So to come down here, we'll get the responsible person, or again, as we're searching the contact, maybe you want to use their given names, their first name, to make it a little bit more personalized, make it a little bit nicer for that person to receive. Again, you can do this as a draft email if you don't want it to go automatically. Totally up to you, depends on what you're comfortable with in the use case. Let's go through and just update these quickly. There we go. So that's all updated for the last bars now. So if we then want to send a Slack message, what we need to do is search for that specific person in here. And then we need to go through and actually generate the message that we're going to send to them as well. So similar to what we just did before around the escalation side of it that we've got up here, what we're going to be doing is searching for that specific user using their email address. So again, come into here, email, value, and 1. We're then going to come across to their direct message. So again, this is looking for that specific individual. And then the text we're going to send through is actually going to come from our module in here. And what we're going to do is just give this a quick run so that we can show the actual output from a lens around a Slack channel. So if we copy this across, we can run this module, we'll do Slack, we'll do OK. So as we can see there, channel, Slack, message, and body. So what we're looking to do is come into our agent that we've got here, direct message. We need to send the text, which if we collapse this down, we're looking for the message body to go through. So we can do OK. We'll just update these. So we'll say that we've actually contacted that person. Again, always good to have the audit trail when we're going through and taking actions like these, especially if they're automatic. We want to make sure that we can improve the agent in the long term, but also identify if it's done anything wrong. And that's where you need to go and change the prompting. Again, all of the resource in the link below, you'll be able to run through and use this yourself. And there we go. And that's all updated. So that's all good to go. We've now got one last module here, which is actually around reassigning a task. So let's copy this across. Copy, we'll also align, that will come down the bottom here. So again, what we'll be able to see in here is just some of the key information. So specific task, we're looking for that. We're not looking for anything else. We'll do OK. All we're going to do is update the task, and we're going to update it to that new person. So we'll look for this. We'll do task ID. We're not looking for any of the other information. And then we can reassign it to a specific email. So again, we've not got a variation in here. If we're searching for that individual, it would be the exact same procedure. It was what we've done a bit earlier on. And we're going to send a confirmation message as well. And we're going to update the task name. So come in here and do name. Then we're looking for the task name in here. So we can do name, and we'll do save. We'll update the action, show it's been completed. Come further down, we'll do the ID, we'll send the message, done, all good to go. So we can do save, auto align, and now it's all come back out. Again, this has been nice and quick, nice and easy. This is all the information to be able to go and follow up with specific actions if you need to. The last and final part, I promise, that we've got here is just around being able to complete or monitor deadlines as we need to. I'm just going to add this in here really quickly just for time, because I'm conscious that we've been going for probably about an hour and a half, maybe 2 now. So let's add that in there. We'll come down the bottom, and then the module that we're going to be looking for here, again, result from R1 right at the start up here, which feels like a lifetime ago, around the routing agent. We're going to be looking for monitoring deadlines. We'll get rid of the ID, come down to the bottom, we'll do sub agent, we'll do the result, we'll do save, and then exactly the same as we've got before. We're going to go through and iterate through and find all of the tasks. Adri has an example a bit further up above. Again, you can change and tweak this to whatever you need to be. This is just an example, by no means how you have to do it. There's so many different ways that you can use all of these tools out there. It's so fascinating. I'm really keen to see how 2025 develops and how we're going to be able to use these tools come the end of the year. I think we're going to see lots of advancements, lots of improvements over the next, couple of months, let alone years. And Ascend are making a lot of changes as well. So I'm sure we'll see lots of different videos in this series around how to use AI agents, build AI agents, what they mean for organizations. Again, look how quickly we're able to go through and generate a lot of this information for organizations. What we can say in this last message here is just around sharing the task. So we just notify that person. We just mark this as closed complete. But again, imagine having to do this all manually yourself every single day. Instead, you can just send a message in a Slack channel and it'll all be done for you all automatically. So there we go, all updated, all ready to go. Let's go and give it another test just around some of this part here where we requested additional information. Let's give it a quick test. We'll come in here and say, please can you give Alex file to get more information around the prompt templates. So we can come into our agent. So as you can see here, it should come into the bottom any second now. So also we need to run our master agent, don't we? So that will come through automatically. We'll then see at the bottom here, so we know that it's all good to go. We need to go and do it. We'll do run once so that we can see it all working nice and fine. It should come through, identify where it needs to go, come down into here, come down into the routing, formatting and the messages. So then we're able to go through and actually send that message, because again, what we're saying is maybe not that important. And then we're able to go through and do it directly. And we should come back into here and we say we've sent Slack message to Alex Ronald to get more information regarding the prompt engine template. So there we go. All working absolutely fine. I know that's been a pretty long video compared to some of the others on my channel, but I hope it was really useful. In the next one, we're going to try and run through some of the communication management ones. So again, really try to get to grips with how we can use the AI agents, how we can build them out, how complex they can be. Again, we'll start to explore other platforms in the future, how to build knowledge into this as well. So stay tuned. I'll see you in the next video.